Alright, what's up? What's going on to everybody who's watching this video? Before you guys freak the fuck out and click off the video, I know this isn't my normal format of video. I hope the gameplay in the back is okay, but I just thought that this topic required its own little video, its own little story. So, on my last video, I got a comment from my boy Casey Arch 25 Unknown. He asked me a great question. He said, what makes you climb? Seems like a simple question, but really there's a lot that goes into it. If you see the type of stuff that I do, I don't put everything out online, but I do climb a lot of stuff. I climb at least twice a week, I'd say. So yeah, it's a pretty big part of my life, and I spend a lot of time scouting out locations and all that. So yeah, I just spend a lot of time on urban exploration and rooftoping, whatever you want to call it, climbing shit. I spend a lot of time on that. It's one of my top hobbies, I'd say. So first and foremost, I just want to make it known that this isn't some sort of death wish, suicide, none of that. It's nothing like that. I've loved heights since I was a little kid, and people in my life will testify to that as well. I remember the first time I went to Seattle, Washington. I got some family out there, and we went up on top of the Space Needle. If you guys don't know what the Space Needle is, I'm going to put a picture on the screen. You can basically go up to the viewing deck. They have a bar and shit up there. I definitely want to go back now that I'm 21. But yeah, this Space Needle was super high up in the air. It was like so cool to me when I was younger. I was just staring at the view. I knew that like I wanted to see more of stuff like this in the future. It was sort of the same thing with drugs. Drugs are a whole different video. I'm not going to get into that. But it was sort of the same thing where, the first time I tried something like seeing that view from the Space Needle or trying to drug, I just knew that this is what I want to do for a long time. It was sort of that same feeling. I'm not saying that it's an addiction, climbing things, but it sort of feels like it to me. But that might just be because of the fact that I'm actually battling with addiction. I'm a little over 4 months sober. I can pull up the exact time. Give me 1 second, guys. 4 months and 9 days sober from opioids today. So that's Percocet, heroin, all those things. If you guys don't know what opioids are, if you're not familiar with that, some of you guys probably are watching for the climbing stuff. I'm sorry, I'm talking about other things too, but it all sort of ties in with my life story, I guess. So yeah, basically what happened was when I got sober completely off the opioids a little over 4 months ago, there was sort of like a void that I felt I needed to fill, and going to the gym wasn't really solving the problem for me like it normally did. Normally I would just go to the gym, work out, and I would feel a lot better after, but this was different. I was completely depressed. Nothing would help. So I decided that I just wanted to start making climbing videos because I was already climbing things before I was recording. I just didn't have a GoPro. I just didn't spend the money on the equipment. But whenever I saw, some type of like ledge or something that I could stare over the edge of and maybe you feel that little adrenaline rush that you get when you're in danger on a height, I would do it. And people that know me well enough know that about me. So me and my dad used to go hiking a lot, and he used to tell me this one story, where I was too young to really remember, but I remember a little bit, but not too much. But anyways, that's not the point. So we were climbing this mountain, and there was this little sort of, I don't know what to call it, like some sort of like ledge, like a piece of the rock that jutted out from the mountainside, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Think like Old Man on the Mountain. I don't know how many of you guys know what that is, but think of like Mount Rushmore, right? Like a piece of rock jutted out from the mountain where you can see straight down, sort of thing. So apparently I was probably about 4 or 5 years old at this point. I just walked right up to the edge. I was standing right on the edge, staring down, and I probably scared the shit out of my dad, but I mean, he ran up to me and he, pulled me back from the edge, but he said that I was always a risk taker like that, like with heights, especially, any height I could find, I would do something sort of risky on it. And yeah, it's only recently that I bought the camera to start recording this, and that's only given me more motivation. And also, it's making me happier. It's making my recovery easier from drugs. So, yeah. I also got a comment a few weeks ago that basically was detailing like the history of the videos on my channel, how it looks like I was a kid going through a depressive episode and then suddenly started doing all these, quote unquote suicidal things, right? Like climbing dangerous stuff and, doing stuff that's more dangerous than normal people do, I guess. And they were basically insinuating that it's sort of a path to like, I want to harm myself in some way, but I know it looks that way, but it's not really the case. I mean, I can make a whole another video talking about life, death, how I feel about that, but this one's about just how I got into climbing and why I climb now. So I'd say the biggest reason that I climb in general is because I like the adrenaline rush. Some people like scuba diving, for example. I would never go scuba diving in my fucking life. I'm not going underwater and taking a breath. I'm not trusting that. And then, at the beach, when you go in the water, there's a chance that 10 feet into the water, you're going to get caught in a riptide or whatever the fuck it's called, a rip current. Dude, the ocean is scary, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm fucking terrified of the ocean. But heights, no problem. See, some people, it's heights, some people it's claustrophobia, some people it's the water, some people it's fucking spiders, some people it's clowns, Everybody's scared of something else, and somebody always has that one thing that another person's scared of that gives them that adrenaline rush. Everyone has one. And mine just happens to be climbing shit. So, yeah, that's basically the main reasons. Number 1, adrenaline, I guess. Number 2, just I enjoy it. Number 3, I feel like when I'm up there, it's sort of like not a lot of people have done this. Maybe nobody has done this. So it's sort of like my own personal view in a way, and I like that. I like solo sports a lot. I used to play basketball, but I quit that when I was in like 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. And from then on out, it was only solo sports like jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, and now free climbing, stuff like that. I just like solo activities. I like, isolation, I guess, being in my own head. Most of the time when I'm climbing, I'm not talking at all. I'm just relaxed. I'm not scared. I'm not none of that. I'm just totally at peace, and it's a great feeling for me. I'm sure a lot of scuba divers get that same feeling. Or, when a basketball player steps on the court, they just feel that sense of calm, It's the same type of thing. Where a lot of people would be terrified if they were, hanging from a super rusty, old, squeaky, fucking blowing in the wind tower, one-handed. Just, a lot of people would freak out at that. Obviously, I know that. I've had plenty of people tell me how crazy it is, but to me, it's fun. I mean, It's not that I'm not scared. I wouldn't be human if I wasn't scared up there, at least a little bit. But it's not so much fear. I wouldn't really call it fear. I would just call it awareness. Basically, when I'm up there, I'm just aware that, or I look at the ground and I'm aware that there is a chance that something goes wrong and I end up falling on that ground. But I guess in my head, I just sort of put that to the side because I don't really feel fear up there. It's a different feeling. It's not fear. It's a different feeling, but yeah, maybe it's some kind of like primal survival instinct, who knows. But I'm proud of myself when I do a climb that I was sort of iffy about, like I don't know if I can do this, and then I do it. Kind of like that climb that I just finished about 45 minutes ago. I've been trying that climb for a long time. I didn't think I could do it. Tonight was the night that I did it, and it felt great. So that'll probably be the next video out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or the gameplay in the back, anything about it, just let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. I love answering your comments. It's my favorite thing about YouTube. Leave a like on the video too. It helps with the algorithm and all that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know in the comments if you guys climb anything or why you do the adrenaline sport that you do. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.